The border zone is the first area of Kenshi that most players see, but many don't realise that the area has a rich lore and history. The zone gets its name from the bordering Shek Kingdom in the west and south, and the Holy Nation to the north and east. Long ago, it was just another territory of the Holy Nation, whose presence can be attested to by the ruined Holy Outpost to the southeast of the hub, as well as the hub itself. At some point, probably after provocation by the Holy Nation, the Shek moved into the area and burned the hub to the ground. Eventually they left, leaving the border zone as an arid no man's land, claimed by neither faction. The area is now inhabited by various rebel and bandit groups, with only a small Shek presence on the edge of the zone, the town of Squinn in the southwest. Much of what we know about the area comes from the reports of High Paladin Ludin and the priests Varlu and Tyluig, whose notes can be found in the only undestroyed dwelling in the hub. It appears that they were sent as part of a group to investigate whether the hub could be resettled by the Holy Nation. Here are the reports of High Paladin Ludin.
High Paladin Ludin, reporting his patrol. As ordered by Commander Nix, we investigated the hub. Fortunately, there was no sign of enemy troops. It appears they have all deserted the region, but before doing so, the blasted fools sacked the settlement and set it ablaze. The hub is nothing but ruins. Most buildings are ready to collapse. Entire sections of the walls have been destroyed. Retaking the hub would be effortless, but resettling it will prove most difficult. It appears our troops occupied the town for some time, given that no bodies were found inside, but we still don't know what made the Shek savages abandon the hub. Further investigation is required. During our patrol on the southern border, Paladin Lusak's hound spotted shadowy figures atop the hill on which the hub sits. At this point, the day was getting late and Okran's light had almost fully passed the eastern hill, so we could not clearly see who the intruders were. Lusak's hound grew increasingly more agitated until it eventually managed to escape his hold and chase after the intruders inside of the ruin. We followed, but during our ascension we lost sight of them. The hub itself was still empty, but it appeared that somebody had indeed been there. Doors were opened and items had been moved, for example. The hound could not be found anywhere within. Most likely it was killed during the chase. It is my belief that the Shek may have sent scouts to see if the hub was retaken. We couldn't see anyone retreating down the southern rampart, so they must have set up camp in a nearby cave. I also recommend that Lusak be sent home for a few days. The loss of his hound has been a blow to him. High Paladin Ludin, reporting his investigation of the hub. As instructed, we reached the hub under cover of night. We heard voices when we got close to the walls, both female and male, but once past the gate, the voices vanished and the hub was silent again. Again, there had been signs of movement inside, but after thoroughly searching the place, we found no one. However, it was when I was investigating the bar that I heard Sentinel Fetio scream. We looked everywhere but couldn't find him, nor could we find any sign of fighting, not even a drop of blood. It was as if that damned place itself had swallowed him. We didn't stay any longer and quickly withdrew to the outpost. That place is cursed. The darkness has taken hold of the town, and it must have been this darkness that killed the Shek soldiers and Lusak's hound. I previously reported the presence of potential Shek scouts, but I know now that the shadows were in fact wraiths. The hub must be torn down and scorched to purify the hill and to cut off the corruption spread.
The priest provides some commentary on the situation, and what its cause might be.
As history has shown, the hub cannot be held. Every time we try, we inevitably lose it within months. The recent loss at the hands of the Empire was further proof of this. Narco shook the world and made 2 entire sections of the southern wall collapse, and no later than this week, wraiths have appeared and have taken one of our holy brothers. As long as Narco's darkness covers this place, we cannot hold it. For too long have we fought with the false enemy. We must redirect our attention to the Dark Demoness's first minions. Only by destroying the Dark Ones can we weaken her influence.
For context, suffice it to say that Narco is the evil god of the Holy Nation religion, and the Dark Demoness's first minions refers to the Shek. I will deep dive into the Holy Nation religion in an episode covering Okran's Pride. If you'd like me to cover that region next, please leave a comment saying so. The other priest, Tyluig, disagrees with Varlu about the root cause of the issue, instead blaming the Holy Nation itself. While Brother Valu is right on the fact that the hub cannot be held for now, he is mistaken as to the reason why. Narco's power did not increase significantly in the last years. It is Orkran's light that has been wavering for some time now. Our faith is the conduit that allows Orkran's grace to be bestowed upon us. We have let our society fall into decay and debauchery, and none but we are to be blamed. Women acting with ignorant brazenness, children shaming their fathers, men forgetting the deeply rooted traditions of our holy society. It is not the dark demoness's minions that have been covering the light, it is we. If we are to avoid our lost brother's fate, we must purify ourselves. Only then can we save this world from damnation. Some have suggested that the wraiths that are spoken about in these reports were simply the trade ninja or shinobi thieves that now occupy the town, which is possible given that neither faction have a presence in the Holy Nation territory, so it's feasible that none of the group would have encountered them before. Regardless, the Holy Nation's habit of poeticizing absolutely everything to the point of absurdity, see the Demoness's first minions, leads me to believe that they knew who these wraiths were and chose that term anyway. At any rate, the hub is now occupied by trade ninjas who operate as makeshift guards against the local bandit factions, vagrants and drifters who can be seen sheltering around the campfires in the ruined buildings around town, and Holy Nation outlaws, a ragtag assortment of runaways, ex-slaves and criminals who are only distinguishable from the starving bandits by their red rag armour. The outlaws are also technically the owners of the rebel base to the north of the hub, though it doesn't have any inhabitants from this faction. The other faction of note is the Shinobi Thieves, who occupy the tower at the top of town. Who these thieves might be thieving from is an open question. Perhaps they sneak into the Holy Nation from here, using the hub as a staging post. The other settlement in the region, Squinn, requires a lot more speculation, as I can't find any lore in-game which references it. But what we do know is that it is occupied by the Shek, with very few non-Shek characters to be found there. The town is powered by wind power, which makes sense given the rock formations on either side of the town. These rock formations make the town extremely defensible, with only one possible way in and out. The town also seems to be built either side of a road, and you can imagine new shops and bars being set up over time to service the trade, which might have one point flowed from the Holy Nation to Admag. For these reasons, my own theory is that Squinn may have started as a roadside settlement, militarizing during the conflict with the Holy Nation, and now stands as an impenetrable fortress at the entrance to the Shek Kingdom. Again, this is purely speculation. If you have your own theories explaining the presence of Squinn, please tell me about them in the comments. Squinn is also home to the Shek known as Ruka, who gives us a unique insight into Shek culture. I will deep dive into the Shek culture and history in an episode on the Sten Desert. The region is permeated by the starving bandit and dust bandit factions. The Dust King can be found here, in Dust King Tower, and the bars in the area hold bounty notices for him. Wanted, Dust King. The leader of the notorious Dust Bandits. He is thought to be hiding out somewhere in the border zone. The Dust King is the first serious challenge many players attempt, and taking him out is the first goal I set for any new playthrough. The Tower of Ninjas in the northeast is the home of the Black Dragon Ninja faction, and their leaders, Dimak and Buzan, can be found there. Their bounty notices read as follows. Dimak. Race, Shek. Gender, female. Description. Stub-spiked, grey-skinned and beady-eyed. Wanted for multiple counts of murder, robbery, assault, arson and kidnap. And for Buzan, race, Scorchlander, gender, male. Description. Has a limp in his walk and a sluggable face. Wanted for multiple counts of murder, robbery, assault, arson and kidnapping. Finally, the Tech Hunters, whose stated aim is to seek out lost technology, have a large presence in the area, with a way station in the south. I find this interesting, since the Holy Nation, who recently occupied the area, is famously backwards when it comes to technology. Perhaps the Tech Hunters know something we don't. The lore of Kenshi is often hidden, but when you dig a little deeper, there is a rich world to be discovered. I couldn't find any information on world states for the hub, which implies that whatever the player does or doesn't do, the region is destined to remain a no man's land for the foreseeable future. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing. I plan to make more of these regional lore videos if I get 10 likes on this one. You might also consider commenting with which region you'd like me to cover next, or to offer any corrections or addendums to the information provided here. I love arguing about Kenshi lore and its consequences. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.